In this video, I'm going to walk you through creating a user, modifying user profiles, setting up your permissions, and walk you through a little bit of what access lists are, which I'm looking at right now. To start, let's go into account management. Account management allows you to add and edit users, add and edit profiles inside your org chart, and set up your teams. Now, before you add your first users, it's a good idea to create user profiles. In this account, we already have a few set up inside of our org chart. First, let me explain what this org chart is. This org chart allows you to manage the roles within your Calltacular account. Now, each role being a subset of the role above it. So, in this example, admins are in charge of supervisors, team leads, agents, QA managers, and QA agents. Supervisors are only in charge of team leads and agents. Now, inside of each user profile being things like team lead and supervisor, you have a set of permissions. So for team lead, double clicking will allow me to edit this user profile and also view the permissions that I've checked off for it. For example, team leads can view and manage campaigns. They can only view clients, but they can view and manage contacts. To create a new user profile, just click New Profile down below. You can give it a name, and then check off the profiles you would like inside of the scroll box here. Since I've already created enough user profiles, we won't create another one. Now we want to add our user. Adding users is fairly simple. An important thing to note is that inside Calltacular, we don't bill you by users. You can add as many as you want. We only bill you by how many users you want to have logged in at once, otherwise called a seat. So don't be shy about adding users. In this example, we only have 2 users inside this account. If we wanted to add a new user, we could simply click New User. And this asks you for the very basic information, first and last name, a unique username, a unique email, and a password. The more important part here is the profile. The profiles we created before will be listed here. You'll want to select it, and this will determine what that user can and can't do inside of the clients they have access to. To edit a user, just click on the little pencil on the bottom right of the user tile. This will allow you to edit their basic information and gives you a couple other things that you may be able to do, such as IP restriction. What IP restriction does is locks them in so they can only log in from this particular IP address. Now, once you've changed everything, simple as ever, you just click Save and it'll send you back to the user list. For teams, we go into the team section here on the left, click on teams. Teams are important for a few things, but in this context, they're important for access lists. That's because in Calltacular, we have 2 forms of security. We have the permissions that we already went over inside user profiles, and we have access lists. Access lists determine who has access to what client. So if we add the users we create into teams, it makes it a lot easier for us to manage who has access to clients. That way we don't have to add every user we add in Calltacular to a particular client so they can see them or make calls. In this team, only Anthony has access, or only Anthony is added to this team. Demo account is not. You can filter users by name here. Let's go ahead and add demo account back to the team and save the team. Adding teams is very simple as well. Just simply click New Team and give it a name. Now let's see what teams are useful for. Click on Clients and go to a client you've created. In this case, it's Demo Client. Inside Settings and Access Lists, you'll see the access list. Here, Demo Account is already added as a user. That's because when you add a client, you'll automatically be added to the access list. Now, if you're a super user, you'll be able to see every client in the software, regardless of if you're in the access list or not. But if you're not a super user, which means if you're not the user you created when you signed up for Calltacular, you'll have to be added to the access list to be able to see the client, which means all the permissions that we checked off inside of user profiles are irrelevant on any client that they don't have access to. So let's add the team we created to the access list. Demo team. Just click grant access and now they'll be here in the list. You can dismiss their access by clicking the X here on the right. Now, to recap, in this video we showed you how to add a user, edit a user, add and edit profiles inside the org chart, as well as add a user and take away a user from a team.